Well, hello me lovelies, it's me Ned Natter with the unpasteurised and unfiltered Ned Natter Show, ready to brighten your day. I love to gossip after a long day of taking care of things down here on my Florida farm. But first up, it's great to be with you again. Thanks so much for your lovely comments and messages. It's time for a good old natter, but remember, I don't chat about the regular news and current affairs. Oh no, but I might have a bit of odd news though, yup. But you don't want me repeating everything you've already seen and heard, do you? I'm here to give you a break from it all, a good laugh, even when it's only once a week on a Wednesday. Remember, you can always listen to my shows again at nednatter.com. Yeah, okay, well, put everything down. No, everything. I mean you too. Come on, it's time for the Ned Natter Show, and you can't miss this. Well, here on the farm, I like to take me morning walk with two other males. Yep, me dog Clay and farm cat young Charles. It's supposed to be a peaceful moment, before I start me day. We wander around and check the land and fences. Although me farm's supposed to be organic, Clay and Charles make sure the boundaries are well sprayed. Yep, sprayed. Clay lifts his leg up to do it at certain intervals, followed by young Charles, who lets it stand on all fours with his tail up, and then does a weird kind of rear end shiver, like he's sat on a block of ice or a frozen toilet seat. On the other hand, I always wait until I get back home. On the family front, me mother, old Nan's still rattling on about her plans to visit Vegas. Yup, Las Vegas without the wife Elsie very soon, and how she's going to turn that 20 grand into $1 million by the end of the year. Oh dear, it's getting highly boring. It's a daily grind. One thing's for sure, if she isn't chaperoned, someone on the way there and back, there's going to be trouble. Every time she mentions travelling west, I change the subject quickly. On the other hand though, it got me thinking I could lend her me old truck, she'd sure get lost that way. Maybe even for about 6 months, eh? Sounds very peaceful. The only kind of gambling I get into these days is the lotto. Yep, the lotto. Low down payment and ridiculous odds. But who cares, I'm gambling responsibly. But I do miss a flutter on the horses and dogs, I mean, you can really grit your teeth watching that kind of race rather than watch a few balls bouncing up and down quickly while you keep your legs crossed. And your fingers too, I suppose. Then out of the blue, I remembered how I hadn't done any book reviews on my show for months. Well, that's all about to change right now. Yep, I've got my hands on a few, and I'm featuring them on my show again. Because we're going back a bit, I thought, you'd like me to remind you of my book review protocol. Oh, nice word, eh? First, I haven't got a star system like a bleeding hotel chain or one of them online stores. Oh no. Well, they're always unfair, aren't they? Because you've got the choice between 1 and 5. When half the time you want the option of no star at all, don't you? Yep, a total shite option. Well, I've got that here, and it's nice and simple. Anyway, if a book is shite, it goes on my compost heap. Sometimes, if it's so bad, I've had to burn it. The middle of the road books go in me charity box, and the good or reasonable ones stay on me farm library shelf. Yep, that's it. Very simple, isn't it? I hope you got all that. Right, now, because I'm not saying it again. Anyway, let's have a look what we got here first. I got this one. It's a familiar name, and Elsie the wife handed it to me for review, and for selfish reasons I might add. It's so she can get a discount from the author. The book is called A Guide to All Things Mystic by who else? Mystic Madeleine, the wife's 1900 number psychic. Oh dear. Well, this book is a real eye-opener. The reason I opened mine is it costs $50 and it's an ordinary little paperback. Oh dear, well, must be more of the wife's pin money, I suppose. Well, I had a flick through and it's not my kind of book at all. Well, each page talks about all the psychic potential with a load of questions, but you can only get the answers in the back, it says. Well, before you say that sounds great, yeah, like one of those puzzle books you take on a long journey, you know, the kind of thing. I'll stop you right there. The back has an advert for Mystic Madeleine's 1/900 fortune line. Yep, the questions are all there on pages 5 through 150. The answers are still $3.99 a minute. Well, I've heard of a rip-off. Well, I wanted to rip this book up. If it wasn't for the fact that Elsie wants the book back, I'd burn it. So, Elsie, me dear, you won't be getting any discounts now, will you? The book's shite. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. My next book was also spotted around the farm, yep. Next to Old Nan's empties, yep, this week it's gin for a change. It's called Beat the Odds, Card Sharp Tactics by Pokerface Paul. Oh, there's a mouthful. This copy, is already well thumbed. It's what they call an acceptable copy online. I like that. Acceptable to them, maybe. This copy has whiskey stains and most of the pages feature cigarette ash where old Nan's coughed and choked her way through it. She's folded down the corners on a few pages too. Yeah, a very annoying habit. But this time, I've got a ready-made guide to the best bits, courtesy of the old bag. So let's turn to the first chapter, how to spot a weak dealer. Then there's a section on sex. That's the sex of the dealer, by the way. And your sex. Well, Pokerface Paul reckons a good-looking woman can easily distract a male dealer. Old Nan's highlighted that paragraph. The trouble is, it doesn't recommend looking in a mirror first. Oh dear. That will definitely sink Old Nan's plans. The chapter on card counting is also well thumbed, but to be honest, when the old crow's drunk, up to 10, counting up to 10, is a bit of a struggle. 52 would be an impossibility. Added to that, her eyesight is hardly up to par either. I think this one needs to stay in my farm library. Well, I might find it useful for reference. Old Nan has already been spending some of her winnings from New Jersey. Yep, not just on books. She's bought a new phone and a few of them, prepaid Visa cards, things. Yep, she discovered she can buy liquor online from these folks in Florida. And she's been stocking up and in the process chatting up the FedEx driver. I'm waiting for her to ask him in for a drink. If he agrees, it'll be the last thing he ever does. See, the old bird likes her men impaired. Makes them an easy target. Well, still on the subject of books. Well, I reached the barn the other day and I got approached by Quentin, the actor camper tenant. Yep, him and his partner, Coagulate, still here. And now Quentin has decided to self-publish an art book, and of course, he's asked me to put it in my book review. It's called Painting in the Nude, a guide to figure study by Quentin Fairbanks Buchannan-Smythe. Oh dear, that's the name to put you off right up front, isn't it? I think it's supposed to be called Painting the Nude, not In the Nude, but you never know with him. Maybe he's trying to relax his subjects that way. Look, we're all nude, yep, we were born that way, yep, so where's the harm in that? The psychological approach. It don't always work though. Quite a few of his subjects run away even before he gets his brush out. Anyway, I promised Quentin I'd feature his little magnum opus on my show. So to start up, it's a flimsy paperback, but about 8x10, which don't help. So I looked through, and inside chapter 1 hardly helps Quentin's book at all. No. Yep, how to pick up models. The second chapter is called Flattery Gets You Everywhere. And then the rest of the book is dedicated to technique. Yep, painting technique that is, of course. Well, I get the impression that chapters 1 and 2 are the most important parts. Getting models and then getting them to undress. After that, painting them seems quite irrelevant, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm keeping the book in my farm library, and I hope old Nan picks it up. She could do with a new hobby. And when she's got the shakes, that's right, one bottle away from her personality, she'd probably produce some pretty abstract stuff, actually. By the way, just popping back to Quentin here a minute, he's got a new hobby now. Yep, working on me farm. I've got him planting and helping out with me new cabbages. He's not used to getting anything other than oil paint under his nails. Yet the funny thing is, helping out on the farm has actually improved his art. Oh yeah, after his first exhausting day on the farm. Yep, 3 hours and 6 breaks later, he decided to paint a large canvas from memory. I didn't see the finished article, but he laid it flat in the barn to dry. Trouble is, those oil paints have got a kind of fishy odour, haven't they, and within no time at all, me hens were checking it out, as was me farm cat young Charles. They're all great fish fans, them. Yep, paws and clawed feet seem to work wonders. And now Quentin's ended up with a true abstract masterpiece. I'd say his best to date. He doesn't think so though, but to compensate, I've lent him me book on growing monster cabbages and their nitrogenous needs. Well, it's my way of keeping him focused. On the other hand though, his partner Coagulate's a natural with baby plants. He doesn't need a book to show him the way. Oh no, he spends the whole day talking to them. Yep, I think they're the only things that appreciate what he says too, The greens he's nurturing are off to a good start too. All standing to attention and not wilting a bit. He's even been sitting out there at night, strumming his guitar and singing to him. Oh dear. I reckon it won't hurt the cabbages, and me curly kale has definitely got a lot curlier since. Anyway, I'll say it's nice to see me 30 acres of organic greens underway. This is Ned Natter here, the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me in my shows at nednatter.com. Going back to this subject of family, I had an annoying experience whilst recording my show. Yep, the wife Elsie tapping on my window asks me questions. Usually it's a question about food. She doesn't realise I need peace and quiet to do my show. Then she doesn't get a response and opens the door. It's me right off me train of thought. It's, well, like me train of thought's been hit by a freight train. The wife. Then that little ankle biting mutt, yep, a little rat dog, not her, runs under me desk and lifts his leg on me microphone stand and on me soundproof walls. Oh dear, well, they don't call me one take Ned for nothing, but this time it was 5 take Ned. Oh dear again. Of course Elsie thinks me ad-lib confusion is funny, I usually scrap recordings like that, but she reckons you find them funny. I don't, but then a few other folks have persuaded me to throw in me outtakes. Now, how lame is that, eh? It's not original, is it? I mean, every movie out there has outtakes, and I always pride myself on getting it right first time. Oh dear me lovelies. Here goes, well, Ned Natter's red-faced outtakes. Well, let's play number 1, shall we? Well, hello my lovelies, this is Ned Natter here at 2 Medicine Farm. That's right, Viagra and penicillin. Today I want to chat about Elsie. Get that mutt out of me studio. He's gone and put his leg up on my microphone stand again. And now he's ripping off me soundproofing. I don't care, get him out of here before I start ripping off his. Oh dear. Now, where was I? And now, I've got number 2. Well, hello me lovelies. This is Ned Natter here to brighten your day.
Ned?
Elsie, I'm doing my show. Stop tapping on the damn glass. No, I'm not going to the store to buy you any more food. Yes, I can see your middle finger through the glass too, but I'm keeping me door locked shut. Oh dear. Better start over. Yep. Oh dear. So that's what my problems are this week. Thinking of annoying people, I've managed to block me brother Buchnatter's phone number. So all going well, I won't be hearing from him this time round. And if he does get through, I'm not answering. And then there's me long lost relative Skip Natter. I've been getting questions, from you, me listeners, about old Skip and what's happened to him since his April Fool's Day vanishing act. Well, all I can say is he's still on the missing list. And I suspect his name shows up on a few other lists too. Probably Interpol, for example. That'll be his real name though, not Skip is just his nickname. Yep, of course. I never told you his full name, have I? Well, it's kind of a funny one. Cromwell Felony Natter. So now you can see why we call him Skip. This is Ned Natter here, with the Ned Natter Show. When I'm not here, you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. On the subject of nightmares, I'm still having these really weird dreams. But my most recent nightmare wasn't a dream at all. It's been about visiting me part-time, inconstant political commentating neighbours, Stonewall Jackson Farm. See, ever since he's had the tenants in residence, things have never been right. Even when Rush has always got something to say, and he's even more confident since he's got that porta potty in his front yard. This time, he went straight into his latest news. As you know, Rush's farm had become a kind of mini GOP HQ for the latest plan, Agenda 24, with his dubious South Florida tenants renting out the in-law apartment. But I had a real surprise. When I arrived to chat with Rush, Donald and Mitch were pulling out of the gate in an overloaded Crown Victoria. The bold tyres were almost scraping the wheel arches. Oh dear. There were a couple of heavyweights to begin with, but it was all their worldly goods weighing down the back seats and the trunk that gave you that sort of lowrider feel. They crept off down the dirt road, creaking and thumping. Whether they ever made it back to Brevard County is, I guess, between them, the state troopers, and AAA. Rush was flustered all right, and not about running to the restroom this time. He'd evicted his new tenants when he discovered Agenda 24 was about to put Stonewall Jackson Farm on the map for all the wrong reasons. He reckons, although he doesn't like to change horses in midstream, he had no choice. See, Rush's soundbite style politics are mostly stuck in the Reagan era. Yep. And his tenants are more interested in the riot era. So, Rush reckoned he's too proud of his country to go down that route. Rush was as crimson as a beetroot, ready to hit the ACE inhibitors when he told me he got to go. Oh dear, poor old mucker. And as he walked away, he called out something really funny. And I don't, it was more in tune with Rush's thinking, shall we say. He says, Ned, this week, right back in 1990, they started tearing down the Berlin Wall. There I am thinking, what's that got to do with Florida and all that? And he says, now, what were they thinking? And off he went. Perhaps he'll be his old self again soon, and I'll be getting the latest, far-fetched, second-hand news from the right of centre every time I visit. It's funny really, I've been kind of missing it. As you know, me swinging nudist neighbour old Fred is fully engaged now on checking out the swing states for Rush. We haven't seen him, or old Lonnie, his blind housemate, for a week. Well, since they headed off in Fred's faded red 95 Corvette. I can't wait for the update. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show, and when I'm not here you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Me lovely vegan neighbour young Alice invited me over to her farm for coffee and vegan cake again. Well, I wandered over to see her, and she's on a mission to make me abandon hen farming for good. Well, for starters, her place is overcrowded with all me non-layers, the ones she's adopted from me farm. Anyway, she's even taken to visit me new green acres and chatting to me cabbages. She reckons plants need talking to. Oh well, me camper Coagulate won't be alone in his discussions with vegetables after all. She asked me to help her build a wigwam too this week in her land. Well, I'm no teepee specialist, but she reckons it's in kit form, and she's going to use it as a special place to meditate while she does her yoga positions. Very nice. She reckons I should get into yoga too. She's a little help with me stress. Well, I thought about that very carefully, and she could be right, particularly if I send the wife Elsie on one of them 6-month yoga courses. Yep, 6 months in India. See, she might be there longer, especially if she gets stuck in one of them, positions she can't get out of again. Yep, that's right. I'd be putting her in the position by buying her a one-way ticket. Unfortunately, I could never talk my old mum Nan into yoga. Oh no. She'd blame her arthritis for that, not being able to do it. But really, it would be the lack of alcohol behind her true reasoning. This is Ned Natter here with the Ned Natter Show. When I'm not here, you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Well, my lovelies, I'm always getting nice messages, questions and odd news items from you, my listeners, and I feature them on my shows. They're still pouring in, and I pick a few that catch me eye each time. And if I don't feature yours, remember, there's only one of me. Anyway, this time, I've only got a couple. I've got it all here on the Ned Natter Show. Right then, the first item comes from Victoria in Vancouver. Very nice. She's terrified though about a recent experiment where human cells and monkey genes produced a monkey human embryo. Ooh. She reckons it'll get out of hand quickly. Victoria, it's already been done. It's nothing new down here on the farm. No. See, me farmhand Ding Dang has that kind of setup right now. Yep, it could be the way he walks, or maybe that's why his hands nearly drag on the ground. Added to that, he'd rather hang out somewhere than work. My second item comes from Douglas in Danville, and he's got a problem with his neighbour. Well, Doug, haven't we all? Anyway, Doug is concerned about his neighbour's view on winning the lottery. Well, I understand that. Yep, he says if he wins, he won't give up his day job, he won't move house, or bother getting a new car. Well, Doug, the first thing I'd ask your neighbour is why the hell does he bother playing in the first place? Then, considering some of the recent wins of over $100 million, would you put up with your neighbours, a job, and driving that old junker any longer? Oh, of course you wouldn't. I'd have my own set of plans in place, Yep. Claim it through some anonymous corporation first. Yep. Then disappear. Yep. Would I still do me show? Of course I would. I wouldn't. I love doing me show. Just change the name slightly to Ned's Desert Island Comedy Show. Live from somewhere via satellite. Of course, you'd hear a lot more, about coconut growing and sandy beaches, but much less about the wife Elsie and me old mum Nan. See, they'd still be living in far-flung Florida with a bigger TV and a commercial-grade microwave oven. Now how's that for a plan? This is Ned Natter here, the Ned Natter Show. When I'm not here, you can find me and my shows at nednatter.com. Well, me dubious conman agent 50% has lined me up with a new ad this week. It's kind of weird to say the least, but I have to take a kind of lax viewpoint with a 50%, So here it goes, me lovelies. Are you looking to work from home? Well, we have the remote solution for you. The big store is looking for checkout clerks. Yep, to work from home. Yep, from home, you'll be operating the self-checkouts in our store. Yep, and you thought it was all done by computers, didn't you? But no, you're wrong. You can still hold up the line, chat to your friends, take annoying breaks, when the store is busy. Yep, you can be as inconvenient as you like at your convenience. Never pack a grocery bag again, and still hold up the customers even more by doing imaginary price checks. Added to that, not a soul will ever get to see your face or your name tag. Check out this unique opportunity today at inconsiderateoperator.org. Oh dear, well I wasn't expecting that one, my lovelies. This is Ned Natter here, the Ned Natter Show. Whichever way you dice it, the Ned Natter Show is unpasteurised and unfiltered. But that's all, my lovelies, and on that note I better go. So until next time, remember farmers are getting older, some more than others. It's time some new blood came down on the farm and gave us an hand. Shite matters, without us you wouldn't have anything to eat, and without me your Wednesdays wouldn't be so much fun, would they? In the meantime, you can always find me in my shows at nednatter.com, along with them wonderful social media links. Come by and say hi. All my shows are on YouTube and Apple Podcasts too, and a few other places, so you can subscribe where you like. Thanks so much for listening. It's been a pleasure chatting with you again, and I hope you join me on the next Ned Natter Show. So until then, keep a smile on your face. Think positive and don't sweat the small stuff. The grass is not always greener on the other side. It might just be a freeway. Goodbye, my lovelies.